think there's much larger questions around the future trajectory of the economy. And I would see any social contract arrangement as the kind of set of institutional arrangements that would allow us to come to those agreements. I think renewing the social contract is much more important than it ever has been for a few reasons. But I think mainly it's because kind of our economy across the world is going through such fundamental changes, and we have a set of kind of problems to deal with that as human societies we haven't had to deal with these before. So good examples of those would be climate change, would be kind of dealing with issues such as AI and the digital transformation. Unless we come to some agreements around how we're going to manage those transitions, I think across the world we're going to find it quite hard to deal with those problems. I think we're now living in a world where inequality is higher than it's ever been, and there are large groups within our society who are marginalized from the economic system. So I think our social contracts need to find ways of being a lot more inclusive. I don't see how you can deal with climate change within kind of any one country in the world. These kind of solutions require international solutions. I lived through, and my life was impacted by the ability of workers to organize and for us to come to agreements around kind of how our economy changes in a way which would be both in the interest of workers but also in the interest of employers. And being part of that initial kind of trade union world was really important to me. Kind of as a South African, kind of course, growing up in the apartheid years, you felt that there were not going to be solutions to our problems. I think we found that when you come to a situation where different interest groups have to talk and they have to work together to find solutions, that what looked like an intractable situation in South Africa kind of resolved itself into being one of the most interesting transformations that we've had, certainly in my lifetime.